This is something I've been thinking about a lot because I go into spaces and no matter how boring I am, if there is like a problematic person or if there's just like a narcissist, someone who has like a personality disorder, like no matter how boring I am, I always catch their attention. And this is just like in light of things that have kind of been happening in my life lately and stuff. And or whatever, just like in general, this is actually something that I've always like thought about for years, and I guess like I don't know, it just like for some reason today or like tonight, it just like randomly came to the forefront of my brain. I think this is because I notice that I am the type of person who gets like a lot of attention for no reason. Um, like people will like think I'm rude for minding my business in environments where everyone is minding their business. It's not like everyone's being social and I'm the only one keeping to myself. Like it'll be an environment where everyone is basically keeping to themselves and like I'll be the one getting judged for keeping to myself. Like those types of things. I feel like stuff like that happens to me a lot and like I just get like a lot of like attention that's usually like not very positive for whatever reason from people who just like have stuff going on. So I've one of the reasons like I come on here and stuff like that is because I notice that I get a lot of attention and it's just gonna happen no matter how boring I try to be. So I'm just like, why don't I just like, do something with it? Um and with that, I've always thought, with the like, I'm just gonna get attention anyway, why don't I just, you know, do the thing that you do when you get attention, which is like make yourself some type of a public figure or just like put yourself out in the public and give yourself like a little platform, whatever. And so I don't think I would make a good public figure because I get like, I mean, I don't care, which is why I would, but that's also like why I wouldn't. Um, because like I get misunderstood a lot. I get misunderstood a lot, a lot. And I do think I have, as I've gotten older, come to realize that these quote misunderstandings were just people wanting to believe negative things about me because they didn't even try to see a lot of instances. People didn't even like try to see where I might be coming from with regard to certain things, which shows that they just wanted to believe these very negative things. Um, so as I've gotten older, I've like started to I started explaining myself to less because I'm like putting two and two together. I'm like, oh, these people just like don't want to see me in a good way, and that's why they're jumping to these negative conclusions and totally misunderstanding me. It's not really a misunderstanding, it's just that they want to believe these things. So like you start to realize that as you get older, and you're like, okay, and then you just like save your energy talking to people, but like, you know, um but yeah, like, so I get like misunderstood a lot, whatever. And I just like, I guess because this has been happening my whole life, I think like, because like if you're a public figure, like this is gonna happen to you like with a lot of people who you don't even know who they are. And my always like way that I went about it is like if I don't know you or we are not close, I do not care. If you don't like me for some misunderstanding because we don't know each other or we're not close or whatever, I don't care because clearly that is a you issue. Because if I don't know someone or if I'm not close to someone, even if I like kind of heard something through the woodworks, I don't have enough like of a rapport with them to form a strong opinion about them. So if I'm forming strong opinions about people who I don't freaking know, I have something wrong with me. That means that I have a lot of juju going on in my life that I'm not dealing with. So I'm going to find this random person who I can easily project that all on because they don't freaking know me. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's going on there. So, if I meet someone and like they don't like me or whatever, or like I'm not going to care. And I've always been like that. So if I were a celebrity or a public figure and so like there was like some rumor going on around me that was like really really untrue and a bunch of people just like hated me, I wouldn't even do damage control. I would just be like, well, I don't know these people. Bye. Like, and like I would like that's and like when you're like a public figure, you usually have like you're usually kind of like in your own little bubble, and like you have like security and stuff like that, so you don't even really have to interact with these people, you know, who are just like on the outside and just like have opinions of you and you have no idea that they even exist. Like, I literally wouldn't care. I wouldn't even do damage control. I wouldn't even try to save my reputation. Like, I literally would not care. And in a way, that's like a good thing because that gives you like a thick skin or whatever. And like, you could just like go out and about and like, you know, you can do your job as a public figure without like, you know, like getting something like without going like absolutely crazy. But at the same time, like there's like a balance, I feel like, where it's like, you know, at the same time, like you do have to care somewhat about your reputation if that's your job, you know. I'm all about like not caring about your reputation, like I'm all about like not giving a single crap about your reputation if that doesn't affect things. But if that's your job as a public figure, it is part of your job to protect your reputation. And I just wouldn't, like, or it would be very hard for me to, I'd be like, I don't know any of these people, like, okay. And they, like, you know, and they were not there, you know, when all this went down. So if they want to form their own, if they want to, like, and I also, like, get turned off by people who, and this is also why I don't follow celebrity gossip. Like, I get so turned off by people like who think that like who weren't even there, didn't even ask anything, didn't even try to talk to the parties involved about the situation, and they just think they know everything. And it's usually like, and they always like think they know everything, and then when they open their mouth to spill what they think they know, it is so wrong, you know? And I'm just like, these people, like the people like that are not even worth like it's like just not worth the time of day, you know? So like if I were like a public figure and like I got involved in some type of drama and then some rumor spread that was totally untrue about me, and someone in Ohio hated me and spun this whole like narrative, like, you know, that she genuinely thinks is true, I like wouldn't give a single crap, you know? So so I think I wouldn't be a good public figure. Like I just like wouldn't care, you know? Like I think I would be a good public figure in that like I like people and that like, you know, I like connecting with people, and like I would be like one of those people who like if I had like quote fans, I would genuinely like care about my fans and stuff like that. But like if something happened to like damage my reputation, like people who are out to get my reputation would probably get away with it because I'd just be like, whatever, you know? Um, cause like, I don't know, like, cause I would also only be like a public figure cause I notice I get a lot of attention no matter what I do. So you might as well do something with that. Um, not because I have like this need for it, not because I have like this need for it, or like, you know, I need to be like, cause like most people who go after that stuff, like you know, it comes from huge insecurities and like not knowing who they are, and like, you know, people who like try to be famous are very damaged psychologically, and I would just be doing it because I notice that people just pay attention to me and people like follow me around. I have like, you know, I have my haters on here who are basically like my groupies, you know, and I did that without even trying, like being a total weirdo in life, you know. So yeah, like yeah, so that's like what I've been thinking about a lot. Like it's like I would just probably not make a great public figure in a lot of ways.